Alright guys, doing a starter on a 2012 G37X, so the all-wheel drive version. Just going to go over real quick how I got this one out. I didn't see any videos on necessarily the G37X or any kind of info on it. The book time's way off. It says I think like 1.2 hours or something because it does not specify the all-wheel drive version. It's only for the rear-wheel drive version. So as far as how I got this out, you can kind of see. So the first thing I did was I took the wheel off, took this right here off. This well, mine was a 13 mil, but it's either 12, 14 mil power cable, and then you unplug this wire running towards the transmission. So this is how the starter will sit in there. So that wire, you can see, kind of goes towards the bottom. It runs kind of like this onto a bracket where that bell housing bolt goes into the starter. There's going to be two of these. They're going to be 14 millimeters. Whatever. Anyway, so got those out. I was able to wiggle the starter out, and then I got trapped in this little area. So I took the lower subframe, if you will. I know this is the subframe, but anyways, this lower subframe section that runs from the body all the way across to the other side, and it bolts to the control arm and a couple other spots. So I took that off. Those were all 14s all the way across. Then I went ahead and loosened the subframe bolts, the 19 millimeters. I only did the 4, so I did this one right here, this 19, this 19, and I just backed it off, backed that one off, and I did the other side, backed it off just enough to get the subframe to drop. I removed these bolts entirely for the control arm compliance bushing. That way I could drop that down and get some clearance. Still have the steering rack, bolted up there and whatnot. I did take the bolts out, but they weren't moving. That's also one of the reasons why I'm at this point. So anyways, I did mark those, and if you do end up disconnecting the steering rack, make sure to mark them so that you get a better alignment off of that. There's a little wire cable here. There was 2 zip ties on it, so I did cut those. That way we don't damage the wiring, so we have a little bit more wiggle room. Then the next thing I did was I just grabbed a pry bar and I pried down on this control arm compliance bushing to get it to drop down this far, and then I pried in here to get the rack to pull out. There's two bolts for the rack, and then 2 nuts on the inside. Let me see here. Try to put on flash. So you can see that hole right there. There's a bolt that comes from the bottom down here, and then there's a nut that goes on top. You do have to hold the nut. It's not welded, so it is a little bit annoying, but on the passenger side, I used a 19 millimeter box end wrench, and then on the driver side, I used a 19 millimeter socket, medium depth, with a ratchet attached to it to hold it in place. Drop those out, you're able to pull the rack back. I just disconnected this side tie rod. That way I could have more wiggle room because it was kind of getting stuck. It wasn't wanting to go all the way out. Go ahead and turn flash off so you guys get outside view again. But yeah, so I went ahead and dropped that out so I could get a little bit more wiggle room. So yeah, subframe dropped, compliance bushing dropped, rack backed out, starter bolts removed, those 2 right there on the transmission, and then the wire harness I tucked over here just to get it out of the way. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fun job. I really only kind of make these videos when I don't find any info and when it's a little bit difficult or tough to do, if you will. That way, if you guys are looking to do this job, you can kind of get an idea of, hopefully making it easy for yourself in the future. But yeah, any questions, comments, feel free to drop them down below, and see you guys on the next one.